Greetings and welcome to the wonders that only exist in this moment. Thank you for joining us at Unity of Chicago South today. Let us center ourselves. Just for today, we will keep our minds filled with possibilities, not obstacles. We will keep our conversations filled with the good we deserve and watch this goodness engulf us. Just for today, nothing will be impossible. I'm Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilson-Coleman, and it is a pleasure to be here with you today. As always, my message is intended to be a message of hope, one that will inspire you to rethink what is possible for your life, to inspire you to believe in your inner star to carry you places that you have never dreamed possible. This month, we are celebrating the spiritual principle of wisdom, or spiritual judgment, which is the blend of knowledge from the head and the heart. The importance of judging by the standards of the higher self rather than by the example set in the world. The disciple is James, the son is Zebedee. The corresponding color is yellow, and the location is the pit of the stomach, and it is closely allied with the solar plexus, which is the area behind the heart and the stomach that is sometimes referred to as the body brain. TruthUnity.net defines wisdom as intuitive knowing, spiritual intuition, the voice of God within as a source of our understanding, mental action based on the Christ truth within. Wisdom includes judgment, discrimination, intuition, and all of the departments of mind that come under the head of knowing. Wisdom is the ability to make a decision based on the combination of knowledge, experience, and intuitive understanding. Our society teaches us to follow the intellect, to follow what makes sense. But in The Alchemist, we learn wherever our heart is, that is where we will find our treasure. The head is mostly concerned with the ability to understand and think about things and the gain and use of knowledge. But your heart represents your personality, your strengths, interest, your intuition, and you will be surprised by the exciting opportunities that will appear once you begin to trust your heart. The blending of knowledge from the head and heart is probably one of the most difficult things that we have to do. So, how do we start? The first thing is to start by knowing what you control. Once upon a time, a psychology professor walked around on a stage while teaching stress management principles to an auditorium filled with students. As she raised a glass of water, everyone expected they'd be asked the typical glass half empty or glass half full question. Instead, with a smile on her face, the professor asked, "How heavy is this glass of water I'm holding?" Students shouted out answers ranging from 8 ounces to a couple of pounds. But she replied, "From my perspective, the absolute weight of this glass does not matter. It all depends on how long I hold it. If I hold it for a minute or two, it's fairly light. If I hold it for an hour straight, its weight might make my arm ache a little. If I hold it for a day straight, my arm will likely cramp up and feel completely numb and paralyzed, forcing me to drop the glass to the floor. In each case, the weight of the glass does not change, but the longer I hold it, the heavier it feels to me." As the class shook their heads in agreement, she continued, "Your stresses and worries in life are very much like this glass of water. Think about them for a while and nothing happens. Think about them a bit longer and you begin to ache a little. Think about them all day long and you will feel completely numb and paralyzed, incapable of doing anything else until you drop them. This story reminds us that we have power over our mind. We do not have power over external events. Do not allow yourself to be overwhelmed by things you have no control over. Accept what you cannot control and focus on what you can change. Live life one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time. Now you're thinking about the stresses and worries. It's important to remember to let go of your stresses and worries. At the end of the day, put all your burdens down. Don't carry them through the night and into the next day with you. And if you still feel the weight of yesterday's stresses, it is a strong sign that it's time to put the glass down. If you find this difficult to do, create a worry period. Set aside approximately 20 minutes a day. And during this time, write down your worries and thoughts on a piece of paper. You can also use your phone or your computer. During this session, challenge the thoughts by asking questions. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is there a more positive, realistic way of looking at the situation? Is there a possibility that what scares me won't happen? And what would I say to a friend who had this worry? This will allow you to separate the things you can resolve from the things you cannot resolve, so you can use your time resolving the issues that can be resolved. If you find that something still worries you, remind yourself that this will have to wait until your scheduled worry session. Often you will discover that the issue has resolved itself or you're no longer worried about it. Avoid all or nothing things. Avoid overgeneralizing or labeling things as failures. Every event is a precious opportunity to learn more about yourself. Leo Buscaglia says, worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow. It only saps today of its joy. John J. Chapman reminds us that people get so in the habit of worry that if you save them from drowning and put them on a bank to dry in the sun with hot chocolate and muffins, they wonder whether they're catching a cold. And Wayne Dyer has often said, the truth is that there is no actual stress or anxiety in the world. It's your thoughts that create these false beliefs. You cannot package stress. You can't touch it and you can't see it. There are only people engaged in stressful thinking. The next step is to follow your heart and forget the money. I think that we all believe we live in a perfect world where our hearts and minds are automatically on the same page, but that's not the truth. Research has shown that 79% of people use their heads to make decisions, but 21% use their hearts. And when it comes to work-related decisions, 68% agree that following one's heart when making business decisions clouds judgment, and 64% believe that following one's head over heart when choosing a career is pivotal to success. A more recent study, the Medical Alert Buyer's Guide survey, further researched the 60% of those who followed their heart and discovered that they are satisfied with their current job compared to 50% who went with their head. So listening to your head may lead to more tangible success, but not following your heart increases your risk of regret. So if you want to lead a more satisfying life, follow your heart. 1 Kings 3rd chapter talks about Solomon At Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, "Ask what I shall give you. And now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of David my father, although I am but a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in. Give your servant, therefore, an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil, for who is able to govern this your great people?" It pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this, and God said to him, "Because you have asked this, and you have not asked for yourself long life or riches, or the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to discern what is right, behold, I now do accordingly in your world. Behold, I give you a wise and discerning mind, so that none like you has been before you, and none like you shall rise after you." If we convert King Solomon's riches into today's worth, his dollars would be a total net of $2.1 trillion. This is the prime example to do what you love, and the money will follow. Now you're thinking, but that was then, what about now? Things are so much more complicated. I ask you, what are you waiting to do once you have the money? And whatever that thing is, do that now. Start small if you have to, but get started. You will meet people who will help you, encourage you, and support you, but you must take the first step. The world will open its arms, and you will find that the money will follow. It's important to not allow the noise, chatter, and opinions of others to drown out your own inner voice. Stephen Jobs says the only way to do a great job is to love what you do. And if you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. The next step is to love yourself enough to believe in yourself. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have. You spend 100% of your time with yourself. We're funny, loving, messy, and beautiful all at the same time. No matter our mood, we are already enough. Our job is to show up, use our gifts, offer our light, no matter how small we may think they are. There is someone somewhere waiting for us to make the world better. Learn to lean into your greatness. Do what you need to do, and that is to be you. Find out what makes you feel good and do it. Spend time recharging yourself. Take walks. Celebrate your talents. Happiness is a choice. Choose to be happy. Life is a journey to be fully experienced and enjoyed. So keep moving. You got this. It's time to begin working on your greatest masterpiece, your life. I want you to be that kind of person that when your feet hit the ground each morning, adversity says, "Oh crap, they're up." Let us become still. Just for today, I will trust that power greater than myself to guide and direct my steps. I will seek out the things that make my soul smile and take the time to appreciate the beauty that surrounds me. I will believe just for today that the universal power is working to shape my world in ways that I cannot begin to imagine. Just for today, I will not be separated from God. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishment, the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Trust your greatness. Namaste.